Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. I am Lonwabo from the RISE SA team, and today we'll be doing our forum with Ms. Shaficka Taliep, Bursar at Oracle Academy High School. If you can hear me, you can please indicate in the chat. Very briefly, the RISE School Management System is a one-stop cloud system that is school-specific and caters for unique school challenges. It is an integrated system with the full financial package that includes the O43 form, budget for expenses and income, as well as all other school-specific functionality. It is a communication tool as well as admin all in one. Now, before I hand over to Shaficka, I would like to remind you to please keep your microphones muted and your video switched off when you are not speaking. If you have a question during the presentation, you can type it in the chat. However, we will take questions at the end of the presentation. Shaficka, over to you.
Hi, good morning, Lonwabo. Can everybody see me? Okay, I'm Shaficka Taliep from the Oracle Academy. And today we will be navigating the RISE system according to the 6 points listed in today's forum. I'm just not sure if everybody can see me. So we used the system from last year, and we basically migrated from the pastel system. And we just found that the RISE system was a lot more user-friendly, and that all the reports and everything that we used on a daily basis, it just made it a lot more easy to get things done. And I know from a schooling perspective, there are always deadlines and there are a multitude of things that happen during the day. And we're always needing to ensure that all the admin gets done in time. And the focus is always, whenever I speak to any bursar, the focus is always that we need to get the funding in, but also do all the other admin and ensure that the accounting systems and all the rest is accounted for and everything is in the system. But then the main priority is our budgets. So like it is listed in today's forum, we will start with the first point, which shows how to drill down to the budget versus actual, because the school year obviously starts, whether you start your budget and plan for the budget in the year before, or you started at the beginning of the year, that's where you start, because with any schooling system, you need to ensure that your expenses are within that budget. And usually it's a tight budget and you're accounting for everything and all the monies that come in that particular year. So let me share my screen with you. So going down to, on the first point, how to drill down to the budget plan versus actual. Okay. So on the first point, when you log into the RISE system, you will find all your tabs on the left-hand side. And what we are going to address is the accounting system, more the account side, more than the capturing. We will start with the budget plan. So when we look at these reports that come up, these are the reports, and this is the actual budget. When you capture all your line items and everything that it is that you need to account for the year, you do it through your budget. But what we're going to start off with is looking at the previous year. If we're going to our budget plan versus actual. Okay. So we're going into our previous year, 2021. You click your drop-down arrow on the period, go to last year. You can see here the parameter is from the 1st of Jan 2021 to the 31st of December 2021, and you will run report. And here you will see, let me not go down it that fast. Here you will see your actual, what you did with your income, as well as your expenses for that year, for the full year of 2021. And so we're using this demo. Yes. some figures in here. I don't want to go down too fast. And your other income sits at the bottom. So for our purposes with the Oracle Academy, I actually requested so that this format can reflect as a usual income statement, the way we use it, with this part to reflect at the top. But you can use it in this way. There's no difference in your in figure. So if you look at this now, it will show you your actual transactions for the year, your income, and then all your expenses. And then if you go into, you look at your actual, if you go into any of your expenses, when you drill down, say we go to gifts and bouquets, for example, or repairs. Okay, let's go into repairs and maintenance. If you double click there and you go into transactions, it will show you the transactions, the actual transactions versus your budget plan. So in that section there, you can see that you're under budget and you've spent just over 5,000 Rand for the gifts and bouquets. You can also go into payments and you'll easily be able to see where you paid for that, or not the gifts and bouquets, the repairs and maintenance. Mr. Idris is the person that did your repairs and maintenance at that price. This was your purchase order on that particular date, on the 5th of February. Okay. The budget plan is what you forecasted. So you very easily see here, you see your forecasted budget for that particular year. And when you're entering your budget, you're obviously accounting for all your income for that particular year. And you sit with a net income of 0. But we know that when we are navigating our school year, we never want to reach a point where we have 0 rands in our bank account. So we would navigate our budget for the year very carefully to see what income would come in versus our expenses. So that takes us to comparing our actual budget to the income statement. And I think the comparative is important. So you will see here that that is your actual, that is your invoicing forecast. That is what you prepared for in your budget. And this is what the outcome, if you see at the end, that is what the outcome is, which is, okay, that says net income of 9 million, which is a bit out. But if you then compare to an income statement cash basis, for example, and then you go to last year and you run a report, you will see that your accrual basis income statement on your budget that reflects there, and I can show you the actual report as well. This will show the net school fees that actually came in and the expenses that you incurred. So that brings you to point 3. This is actually, I'm touching on point 3, which they're saying that how to view the current financial position of the school on the cash basis. But we're not talking about the balance sheet, we're talking about the income statement. So if you look at the cash basis and at the school, you would generally be looking at the cash that comes in. As we know, we all forecast for the amount of school fees that should be coming in, but we very seldomly receive 100% of our school fees. So we sit in a position where we're constantly having to take in, especially from a private school. The Oracle Academy is a private school. We're taking in our school fees, ascertaining how much we can budget for on a month-to-month basis, even though we do need to have a forecast, and then looking at our monthly income in a very serious way, especially over the past 2 years. So if you look at this cash, the income statement cash basis, it would be very different than looking at the actual that should be coming in. So as this reflects here, the actual income, the actual budget plan is a direct reflection of the next point, which shows the financial position of the school on the accrual basis. So if you compare that, the actual budget plan, you look at the in figure as well. If you go to accounting and you go to the income statement accrual basis, again, you go to last year and you run the report. You will see that it reflects exactly the same as it would in your budget. So you do income statement accrual basis, and you go budget plan actual, and you will see it is exactly the same. The accrual basis will account for all invoicing that you actually made at the beginning of the year for all students or throughout the year, and any purchases that you found yourself needing to spend in that particular month, even if it was paid the following month, it needs to be accrued in that particular month. Those are all the expenses that you need to pay for that year. So that is how you would drill down into those expenses when you navigate in your budget. I can give this as an example again. You go into it, transactions, payments, and you can see exactly where it went to. 2,000 Rand. Sure. Let me just close this. That's how to navigate your budget plan actual versus your actual budget. Then, in going to the next line, in how to assign a school fee payment to the learner account, you would go into bank stream. So this is more of the capturing side of things. Bank stream on your side tab. And all these transactions would come directly from your bank account. There are two ways to do it. You either link your bank account to the bank stream and you upload and refresh in order for all new transactions to come into the system. Alternatively, you download a CSV statement from your bank account and you upload it into the system. And all the transactions, without you having to capture anything, all the transactions would come up by their date and the description that comes under the bank and the amount. If we take this example, we're needing to allocate all these payments to their particular school fee accounts, the learner accounts. So looking at the student, it's Joel Williams. He's paid 4,000 Rand on the 7th of June. And you now need to match it to his school fee account, and that's been loaded already. So you're going to new, match. Okay, so what you're looking at here, it's 4,000 Rand that was paid. And you need to go into his name. Okay, go Williams. You go to company and you type in his name. Williams, and then you look at the drop down, you look for his name. Joel Williams. Click on this tab. And now what you can see here, there are two unpaid invoices. So it's for the prior year, that's 2020. So an arrear balance is there of 10,500 Rand. And then the second line item is the current 2021 school fees that hasn't been paid. But obviously, before you can pay the current, you need to settle the prior year's school fees. So you click on the invoice that you want to link this 4,000 Rand to, and you match. That payment is then matched to that tax invoice and you approve. So you'll find that in the approved list. So that has been allocated to that particular learner's account. If you want to check that it's been allocated, you go again to your side tab, you go to school, students. In the top tab, you type in his name so you can get to his name. It comes up with quite a few learners here. Find him, Joel Williams. Go into his account. In here, this would be all his information. You go to document journal and you will see there that that payment has been allocated to the running balance. So that concludes how to view a financial history of any learner at a click. It's quite easy to navigate. It does seem like there are quite a few tabs, but it's user-friendly. So the reason why there are quite a few tabs is that it makes it easy for you to navigate. I see in comparison to Pastel, for example, in one category where you'd have one income statement, there'd be multiple in different formats. And that's just to make it more user-friendly. I also find, and something I didn't mention before, if I want to backtrack just a little bit, something that I find very useful and something that I use often, I'm not sure if other bursars will use it often. We use Excel quite frequently, and everything is on cash basis. We're always wanting to see what monies have come in and what has been going out. So if you go to last year and you run a report, the functionality that most attracts me, apart from the easy and usability of the bank stream and allocating students that easily, when you save a document, and it's something that I didn't find with Pastel income statement. Let's call it income statement, and you go, okay. If you look at your export, enable editing, the format that it comes up in is exactly the format that you want it to be in. It doesn't look different from your screen. Generally, the Pastel comes out like a CSV statement that you need to always change and kind of tweak and make it look the way you want it to. I found that running reports, I always felt a peace of mind because of running reports and sending it to an auditor, for example, it's exactly the way I would wanted it formatted. So that saves time, and it's always about time saving. So if I look at last year, and we would struggle to get everything in by December and then come in January to try to complete our previous year and then get everything to the auditors. We were complete with all our reports by mid-February already. So if I look at the time that we usually took, and we were always pressed for time. If I look at how quickly we are able to do things, it's really at the touch of a button, and then also in the formats that we wanted to be in. We have the cash basis at our fingertips. We're not having to calculate and recalculate and ascertain as to whether we're actually taking in and considering all of the cash that's on hand. And that's also another tab that's not even on the system. It's taking in cash money as it becomes available. So even if money hasn't been banked yet, you capture it onto the RISE system. When it has been banked, there's a way to reconcile it back to your bank statement and then confirm that it's reconciled, that what you have on hand is actually reconciled to the cash receipt that was received. So for us, that even saved time, and we had it on our system. It wasn't a case of having backlog and then reconciling 6 months at a time to ensure that cash that was received actually came in, or it was reconciled correctly. We didn't short deposit anything. So for schools and that kind of system, this is definitely a schooling system, and it's definitely a system that cuts time, and produces what you need in a shorter time frame with easy usability and easy accessibility. Thank you. I hand over to Lonwabo again.
Right, thank you very much, Shaficka. I would also like to share my screen very quickly. All right, so can everyone see my screen?
Yes, I just answer.
Okay. So very briefly, when we started working with schools, most of them were experiencing the various challenges, which is multiple duplication in various systems, not having enough time in the day to carry out certain tasks, a high cost of paper and time resources, and having no access to correct and real-time information. Therefore, in developing the RISE school management system, we worked very closely with schools to combat these challenges. Now, the Deloitte company conducted a study on 500 IT leaders to gather the reasons for them to move to cloud systems. And one of the main reasons being data security and data protection, data modernization, cost and performance of IT operations. Now, you have to remember that with cloud systems, you save a lot on performance operations. And just very briefly, to look at the gains that schools have when using our system. In terms of emailing statements, they save up to 20,000 rands a year, which can offset the initial cost of the system, if not more, within a couple of months. They save on IT infrastructure, which is the computers and laptops. So when using the RISE school management system, you can access it anywhere you are when you have a computer or laptop device and also connected to an internet. You save big on system updates, and also you have your data is recovered. So in a case where your computers or laptops are stolen or damaged, your data is still remains safe because it's on the cloud and it's updated automatically, regularly, and you can access it anytime you need to. So you save a minimum of 12 hours with the automated 043 report. And the amazing feedback that we've received from schools is that they've increased their school fee collection by 10 to 15% within the previous years. So how is this possible? So when using the RISE Communicator app, this is what the parents are able to see. They're able to see their payment history and also able to see how much they still owe to the school without the school having to regularly remind them of the outstanding fees. So in conclusion, I'd like to inform you that if you are interested in the RISE school management system, we have a 50% discount on the onboarding fee, which is valid until the 31st of March. So if you are interested, please do not hesitate to reach out to us, and you can send your email addresses if maybe you would like us to contact you in the chat. I would now like to open the floor for any questions. You can type them in the chat or you can unmute your mic. Thank you. Okay, thank you for your question. I'm not sure how to pronounce the name. I don't know if it's Gao or, but how to add a line item to the budget. Okay.
Yes,
Ms.
I
Taliep.
think I must
Okay,
have missed that one. Apologies. Should I go into it again and then just show how to add a line item to the budget?
I would appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Okay. Coming back to the tab on the left, going into accounting with all these line items here, you go into the budget. So previously we went into budget plan actual, which was a report showing what we had done. This time, in order to add a line, we go into budget. And here we can select, say we select the last one, 2024. You double click. Okay. And then it reflects that budget and everything you've captured that showed in your budget plan, right? So when wanting to add another line, okay, so this reflects correctly, you just add. And then, okay, for this say, I will just go into, say I want to go into, see what they've got here in the 2020 tab, for example. Let's go with sundry expenses again. Click. So when you type in the account that you want to add another line for, you can go sundry income, tab, and you put the amount that you want to add. That you forecast. So this is another. You post and close. And that will basically add your additional income that you forecast.
Thank you very much,
Okay.
Ms. Taliep. Yep. So there's another question: will proper training be provided, and is there help desk available to assist? Yes, we do provide training, and we do provide also support. Thank you, Shaficka, for a very great presentation, and thank you everyone for joining in this morning. Thank you all for your time. Have a great day further.
Thanks so much, Lonwabo, for having me. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Goodbye.